If Tinkercad is showing a rendering error, flickering shapes, a black screen, or missing 3D objects, don't worry. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the most effective fixes step by step, so you can get back to designing without the frustration. This is especially helpful if Tinkercad was working before and suddenly stopped rendering properly, or if you're opening a big project and the workspace just won't display correctly. If this tutorial helps you out, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more quick software fixes and tutorials. Let's get started. First, the most common cause of a Tinkercad rendering error is a browser hardware acceleration issue. Tinkercad relies on WebGL, which uses your computer's graphics system to draw 3D objects and circuit elements. If that connection is not working properly, the page may load, but the model itself may not render correctly. To fix this, open your browser settings and search for System. Then look for the option that says Use Hardware Acceleration when available, and make sure it is turned on. If it is already enabled, toggle it off and back on again just to refresh the setting. After that, you must relaunch the browser so the change takes effect. This one step alone solves a lot of rendering problems in Tinkercad. Next, if the issue is still happening, you need to check WebGL compatibility. WebGL is the technology that helps Tinkercad display 3D geometry smoothly in your browser. To test this, go to get.webgl.org. If everything is working, you should see a spinning cube. If you do not see the cube, or if the page gives you an error, that means your browser or graphics support is not healthy enough for proper rendering. In that case, update your browser to the latest version first. If the browser is already up to date, the next step is to update your graphics drivers or your system software. On Windows, you can do this through Device Manager or your computer manufacturer's update tools. On Mac, check System Update to make sure your graphics support is current. Now let's talk about the project itself, because sometimes the browser is fine, but the model is simply too complex to render smoothly. If your Tinkercad design contains a lot of individual shapes, imported parts, or very detailed geometry, the browser may struggle to draw everything at once. A simple fix is to group related objects together. Select the shapes you want to combine and press Ctrl+G. This turns multiple objects into a single mesh, which is much easier for Tinkercad to render. If one specific object is flickering, broken, or showing weird visual glitches, try ungrouping it and then grouping it again. That forces Tinkercad to rebuild the render data. Also, check for overlapping faces. When two shapes sit in the exact same place, you can get something called Z-fighting, which causes flickering surfaces. Just move one shape slightly, even by 0.1 millimeters, and the rendering conflict often disappears. If that still does not solve it, clear your browser cache and cookies. Old or corrupted cached files can cause strange display issues, where the page seems to load, but the 3D workplane does not appear correctly. To do this, press Ctrl, Shift, and Delete on your keyboard. In the Settings window, choose Cookies and Other Site Data, plus Cached Images and Files. If possible, clear the data from the last 24 hours first, since that's often enough to fix a recent rendering glitch. Once the cache is cleared, reload Tinkercad. This forces the browser to download fresh files and gives the renderer a clean start. Another thing to check is browser extension interference. Some extensions can break Tinkercad's renderer without you realizing it. Dark mode extensions, ad blockers, privacy tools, and even GPU-related add-ons can inject code that conflicts with Tinkercad shaders. The easiest way to test this is by opening incognito mode with Ctrl, Shift, and N. If Tinkercad works properly in incognito, then an extension is very likely causing the problem. From there, disable your extensions one by one until the rendering error goes away. Start with anything that changes the appearance of websites, blocks scripts, or forces graphic settings. Finally, if you are working on a large or very detailed project, your browser may simply be running out of memory. Heavy imports, lots of shapes, and long editing sessions can all put stress on your system. Close any extra tabs you don't need, shut down background apps, and then restart the browser completely. This helps clear memory leaks and gives Tinkercad more resources to work with. If you're on a slower computer, this step can make a surprisingly big difference. So to quickly recap, if Tinkercad has a rendering error, first enable hardware acceleration, then check WebGL, simplify complex geometry, clear your cache, test for extension issues, and free up browser memory. In most cases, one of these fixes will solve the issue and restore normal rendering. If this video helped, please give it a like, subscribe for more helpful tutorials, and leave a comment if you want more Tinkercad troubleshooting guides. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.